For the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the sky, I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, my heart is ready to receive.
And so knowing that the divine is always present, in, as, and through everything, and therefore present right here, today, in, as, and through this meeting, everyone participating here, everyone participating digitally over the internet, and anyone watching this in the future. Know that each one is surrounded by infinite, living blessing. And that blessing is present here today in this room and in this presence on the internet. And so I know that each heart is now fully open, each mind is fully open to listen and to be awakened to the truth that lives within each one of us and expresses through each one of us. We are blessed. We are blessed. Forever blessed. And so I fully accept this blessing. And I release it to that which has already made it so. And we say together, and so it is.
I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, my heart is ready to receive.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And a lot of gratitude to beloved Scott, one of our beloved members, who jumped in at the last minute to do that for us. So thank you so much, Scott. My name is Susan Neat. I'm a practitioner here, and we are a loving, healing, inclusive community that teaches and practices the principles of the science of mind for the spiritual development and the well-being of ourselves and the world. Our purpose is love, and our vision is transforming lives through spiritual illumination. And I wanted to share with you one of our intentions: to reveal and witness truth as the healing, restorative power of our lives and the world. And how do we do that? Well, we have a new offering beginning this Wednesday at noon, middle of the week, perfect time for a lunch break. It's only 10 to 15 minutes, and myself and John Heron, another practitioner here, will be offering a meditation for world peace. And if you know anybody else that wants to join, it's not inclusive. We are not an exclusive place. I guess I should say it is inclusive, meaning anybody can come. Yeah, grammar. Also, we are having a practitioner meeting after the service today, the celebration today. And so we invite you all to exit quickly. But if you would love to sit and chat with each other, we have beautiful chairs and sunlight outside. So feel free to do that. And next week we have a new speaker, Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson. I hear he's extraordinary. Oh, Lori's giving him 2 thumbs up. After that, we have our beloved Reverend Karen, and after that, we have Reverend Michelle. We just have juicy, yummy speakers, and it's just a wonderful place to be. So if you're not here in person, we invite you to come on down. Come on down. Is that The Price is Right?
The place is right.
The place is right. Have a wonderful morning.
Thank you, Susan. And yes, this place is right. And this place is filled with energy and light and love and all those juicy things. And Damaris, Otero-Torres, I'm delighted to be today's POD. I welcome you. And to those out there, I invite you to keep on watching these our services every morning at 10:30. But if you feel compelled to drive, we are right here. This is a beautiful place. As I've said before, there's plenty of parking, so and we definitely welcome. So I hope you all had a fantastic week and are here to just open up your hearts in gratitude for the wonderful week that has gone by. But I also figure that some of you may have experienced some challenges this week and are here to just know that you can come to this place to release the burdens that may be waiting in your hearts. And know that you are in the right and perfect place to do that. So I'm going to start this contemplative moment by asking you to be brave enough to know what is waiting in your heart and be able to give it a name. We're not here just to pretend that we don't go through challenges. We are here to know that whatever challenge we have, there's something to be learned. There is something to be released. There is a blessing waiting for you. So I invite you to just, I don't want to say embrace it, but see it in all its messiness, in all its parts, those parts that you think that can not escape the way you see reality. And know that by seeing that challenge, and by giving a name to that blessing that you want to receive, that blessing that is waiting for you to accept it, you have started a big revolution within. Something that can change your life forever. And I'm here to remind you that in being able to name that quality of God that you think is missing from your life right here and right now, just by naming it. It's just not the easier or the easiest way to start reclaiming a space of peace in your life. It's the only way to do it. So I invite you again to think of a challenge in your life right now that is weighing on you. And just let it be for a few seconds. We will not build a condo in there, I promise you. We simply want to acknowledge it. And acknowledge the thoughts that have crystallized in your subconscious mind so we can finally transform them and set ourselves free. So gently say to yourself, I believe that no matter what the experience through which I am going, good will come out of it. I believe that I have a silent partnership with the invisible, and that this partnership has never been dissolved and can never be. I believe that all things are possible to all that believe that the law of God is a law of love and liberty. I have complete confidence in my knowledge and understanding of the law of good. I not only know the law, I know how to use it. What thought has produced, thought can change. Knowing this, having confidence in my ability to use the law, I build up an unshakable faith, both in the law and in the possibility of demonstrating it. My mind rejoices in certainty and in assurance. I confidently expect that my word shall not return to me void. And in that consciousness, I invite you to know with me that there's only one power and one presence, God the Good. That God Good is right here, right now, erasing, eliminating any thoughts that may have caused pain in your life, confusion, and all the thoughts that you find limiting in your life. As we open up our hearts, we are inviting that one power and that one spirit to wash away everything that limits us. And we affirm that we are children of the divine, and in being such and accepting our true identity, we are allowing that law of love, that law of good, that law of life to take away everything unlike itself. We are open and receptive to healing, to love, to peace, to creativity, to joyful completion, to divine connection. And as we embrace and allow ourselves to be embraced by these divine attributes, we are indeed becoming a healing element unto ourselves and a healing element unto the world. This is the truth. I release this word to the universe, knowing that each one here is one with the divine, and in knowing that we are free, we are at peace, and so it is. Amen.
So it is.
Lori. Oh, Steve, I'm sorry.
No.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You want to finish? I don't have anything to say.
You're not.
So let's just go ahead.
Lori.
Okay. It's great to be back here in Princeton. I'm Lori Carlson. I'm a licensed practitioner in Morristown. I've been here before. And what a beautiful Damaris. That was really beautiful and so perfect in keeping with my talk today, which is the grace of letting go, making space for light. And how beautiful that we have this beautiful backdrop of light. And I'm going to be talking about the falling leaves, and there they are. So if you need a visual demonstration of the talk, it's right out there. So I am going to start with a few lines of poetry that I shared at my center last week. It's not the whole poem, it's just the beginning, but it is what inspired this talk. Each falling leaf is a sermon today. Gold, crimson, or brown, all teaching the same truth. To release is holy. To let go is not loss, but the way we make room for more light. A breeze stirs, and the trees respond with a language of rustle and shimmer. Sunlight spills through their thinning crowns like grace through stained glass, forgiveness through time. That's just the two stanzas of the poem, but it did inspire this talk. And I'm going to put my timer on to make sure I don't talk too long. So, we know in this teaching, right, that you need to make room for something new, right? So you have to let go, like Damaris said so beautifully. We need to let go of those things that we are full of so that we can invite in something new. This or something better. Isn't that what we use in our treatments, right? And the old Aristotle said, nature abhors a vacuum. So when you release and let go and make room for the new, we believe in this teaching that when you participate in the co-creation, what comes to you is good and greater good, right? So, but even spirit can't put something where there's no room for it, right? So even spirit can't jam into that closet one more thing, or jam into a closed mind a new idea or a new perspective. When I was here last time, I did a talk on the lenses you choose, right? And so it always comes down to our choice and our choosing how we see the world. This particular topic of the grace of letting go is something that's very near and dear to my heart because I have had to let go of a lot in my life. I know that I have shared here before my story of recovery. And so there have been several times in my life when I have had to divest myself, willingly or not, of almost everything I owned. You know, when I left the city at the beginning, you know, because of my addiction, I let go of my career, my apartment, like most of my possessions, all the things I had lovingly gathered over the years and collected, all my vintage cookie jars and all my vintage cigarette case holders. And I mean, I had so much stuff, but it was all stuff that I had, you know, spent time and energy collecting and that I thought was very important to who I was, right? So we tend to let our possessions define us. And that is one of the biggest graces of letting go, is that we learn that we are not our things. And we are not, you know, we do not need to define ourselves by those things or by the labels we attach to them. So, like I said, that was the first time, you know, for me that was a major letting go, and I didn't do that willingly. That was, you know, sort of forced upon me by my circumstances and my conditions. But I have also had to do the same thing. You talk about the universe making you repeat a lesson until you learn it, right? I have had to do that several more times. When I moved in with my parents, I moved back to my parents and I was storing what I brought from the city in their house, and then they moved into assisted living and we had to have an estate sale, and I had to let go again of what I, you know, talk about going, and then I moved into a recovery house and I had to let go again, and then what I was storing in a friend's basement, she moved to Bermuda and I had to let go again. And so every time that I have let go, it has not been easy, but I have gotten better at it. And I have gotten better at it because I have learned certain things, right? I'm in this teaching now. I have learned tools. When I let go when my parents had their estate sale, I was not yet in this teaching, but I was in recovery. And I had a sponsor who taught me a very good tool, which I'm going to share with you. And that was to see the strings of attachment that went between me and each object that I didn't want to get rid of, my favorite little statue or my favorite this, or, oh, I can't let go of that, and to see the strings of attachment, and then to visualize the side of my hand as a blade, and to visually cut the strings of attachment, bless the object, and send it out with blessing and gratitude, saying, thank you for the joy you have brought me, now go forth and bless someone else. And you know that really works. I have done it several times, and in that particular instance I'm talking about with my parents' estate sale, I had the great joy of seeing the people who got my things. And so we don't always get that, right? A lot of times you get rid of stuff and you don't get to see who gets it. But because I did, and because I have one specific memory of a little boy who took my vintage little teddy bear that was like from the 1920s, this statue that I loved, and that I knew someone else who had the same one, when I saw his face, when he got it, and I ended up just giving it to him, I remember that. So that every time I need to get rid of something, every time I'm trying to let go, I remember that. I have that vision, that image in my mind of the joy it brought someone else. And I pull that up. I pull that feeling up, right? We know in this teaching it's about how you feel, right? So whenever I need to let go of things and I'm like resisting and I don't really want to, I pull up that image of that little boy's face, and it makes it so much easier. Right? Because that allows us to give with gratitude and to give with joy. And it changes what is like a loss into a joy and a blessing, right? If you can let it go, release it with that feeling, then it not only creates space in your life, but it goes forth to bless someone else. And the autumn, this season, is the perfect visual representation of that, right? Each leaf falling, like I said in the poem, each falling leaf is a visual representation of letting go with grace. The leaf doesn't worry where it's going to land. The leaf trusts that it will, grow another one, but that it will grow again next year, that it will nurture the ground upon which it lies. So I like to see that as what I let go of nurtures someone else's joy, goes out to bless someone else in a new way. And this is Spirit's sacred invitation to really see it that way, to really embrace this, and to, be a falling leaf. Right? In this teaching, we know how important trust is, right? Trust in the law, trust in Spirit. That's the spiritual journey, isn't it? Like Damaris said, learning to trust, learning to let go, stepping into that faith, the trust that there is in letting go and knowing that everything's going to be all right. I have so many quotes because this is a topic that there is so much good, so many people in all walks of life have said really great things about this, but so they're not all going to be signs of mine. But so Charles Fillmore said, we must learn to let go, to give up, to make room for the things we have prayed for and desired. Right? Like I said, even Spirit can't put something in a full space. So if you let go, and then you're treating for what you desire, you're making space. I like to think of it as, yes, fill me up, And there's nothing wrong with letting go to declutter or simplify your life. Because let me tell you, every time I let go of something, it makes me feel lighter. It simplifies my life. But if you tweak that just a little, and don't do it just to declutter and let go, but tweak it to I'm decluttering, letting go, to create space for the next thing, to let that light filter through the leaves that are falling so that I can see what Spirit has for me next. This or something better, right? I have a friend, I went birding a couple of weeks ago, and my birder friend pointed out to me that it's much easier to see the birds in the fall and the winter because there's not so many leaves on the trees, right? In the spring and the summer, you can hear them, there might be a lot of them, but you don't see them because they're all hidden in the leaves. So I like to think of that as a metaphor for when you let go and you create space, you can see the blessings, the lessons, the things that you need to heal, the things that Spirit is trying to teach you. All of those things become more apparent when there is a little light filtering through the leaves, right? When everything's not so cluttered, when your mind is not so cluttered. And all of this talk of letting go of things and stuff, it's great to do that in our physical world and not be attached to things, but it's really a metaphor for the way we live, for letting go of ideas and old conditions and opinions and resentments and frustrations and all of those things. It's not just about the physical things we let go of. It's about all the space we make in our minds when we let go of those things too. Deepak Chopra says, in the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you will find yourself. And that has been my experience. I have let go of so many things from the past, including who I thought I was, how I defined myself, and I have more myself today without all those things and without all those labels than I ever was. And I didn't even know any of that was possible until I learned to let go. And Alan Watts says, the attitude of faith is to let go and become open to truth, whatever it might turn out to be. Wow, right? Isn't that the spiritual journey? Being open to whatever it might be, knowing that this too is good. I'm going to quote John's favorite quote from Emma Curtis Hopkins, this too is good, this too is God, this too is for me. And I demand to see the blessing in it, right? So this time of October, this time of leaves turning and everything, this is a very tender and, I don't know what word to use, melancholy time for me, because as much as I love the falling leaves, October has been a big time of loss for me in my personal life. 5 years ago, my sister died in October. Last year, a very dear friend of mine committed suicide last week. Next week will be the anniversary of my boyfriend's death, who died suddenly after pancreatic cancer last year. So this time is a real time of letting go. A real time of recognizing that this too is for me, and I demand to see the blessing in it. And I'm not saying that I'm happy any of those things happened. And I'm not saying that I don't feel grief and loss, because I do. And I'm not talking about spiritually bypassing those things. I'm talking about allowing them and looking for the blessing anyway. And let me tell you, I can do that today. Not always, not every day. I mean, I still have my days of tears. I see a motorcycle go by. But I also recognize that it has created a space in my life for spirit to show up in a different way. It has forced me and pushed me into a version of myself that I didn't know was possible. So yes, I can see the blessing in it. Do I want it? No. I mean, do I wish that it didn't happen? Yes. But in this teaching, I recognize that this too is for me, and I demand to see the blessing. Mary Morrissey, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, says, even though you may want to move forward in your life, you may have one foot on the brakes. In order to be free, we must learn how to let go. Release the hurt. Release the fear. Refuse to entertain your old pain. The energy it takes to hang on to the past is holding you back from a new life. What is it you would let go of today? What is it you would let go of today? We're going to talk about that I'm going to give you some suggestions in a few minutes, but I just, want to once again bring you back to this idea that there is grace in the letting go, that there is grace in the creating of the space, and that, we believe, right, that spirit is omnipresent. So even in grief, even in letting go, their spirit is present. We are never alone. We are never without spirit. And when we come back to that, it's a little easier to be that leaf, to let go and trust, right? It's all about finding that place of faith where you can let go and trust. And as Ernest Holmes says, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. So if what you're thinking is clinging and I don't want to let go of this, or this is just who I am, or I'm just going to sit in my despair. If that's what you're thinking, that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to see all around you. If on the other hand you're thinking, how does this grow me? What beautiful grace there is in letting go. How this creates more space for something new. I wonder what it will be. Instead of bemoaning what you've let go of, how about curiosity for what maybe is coming next? How about openness to whatever the truth is, as Alan Watts says, whatever is revealed, with joy, with gratitude, right? And like I said, part of that is letting go of physical things. It's a demonstration of that belief, which is why I'm really excited about this idea I came up with at our center. We're doing a blessing gratitude swap. So for the month of November, everybody is bringing in the things that no longer serve them, that they have too much of, or that they don't want anymore, and they're bringing them, and we're going to put them all on the counter, and then you just take what you need, and it's like an exchange, right? It's the law of circulation. As you give, so you receive, and you let go, and you bless other people with it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful expression of that letting go and making space. And, if you let go of this, then maybe something else comes in to bless you. And so I love that energy, and I love that we're doing that. But it's also a way to remember that you give to your community, right? That we can give to our community with all different kinds of ways. And when you look with blessing for how to show up for one another, then there's like an infinite possibility. This is not a very spiritual thing, but Baltasar Graciana, who I never even heard of before, says, the best skill at cards is knowing when to discard. Right? Anybody play cards here? Yeah. So, but I think that it's also true of life. One of the most important skills in life is knowing what to get rid of, what to let go of, and when to do it. So I'm personally also going through a difficult time with a friend, and I'm having to face the fact that this friendship in its current incarnation no longer serves me. And so I may have to let go of that. At least I have to let go of the expectations I have around it, right? And the ideas I have about what it should look like and what I should get from this. I have to let go of all that for my own peace. And to allow for the next great thing. Because as long as I'm trying to keep what it is, I'm not allowing for what might be. You know, I go to a lot of, I'm in a Buddhism and recovery group, and in Buddhism, clinging creates suffering. Clinging creates craving, and clinging and craving creates suffering. And we do that to ourselves, right? That's something that we are in control of letting go of. It's not easy, but it is something we can do. And when we do that, and remember who we are as expressions of spirit, and really move into that place of faith and trust, then all things are possible. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, "Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day." So that's another kind of letting go, right? So important for most of us. Letting go of those self-recriminations, letting go of that self-doubt, letting go of those to-do lists that you didn't get done yesterday, letting go of all those expectations we have of ourselves, and just saying, I showed up. I did the best I could. And I'm okay with that. Tomorrow's another day. You know, I'm very lucky to be in a 12-step program where we have this thing called the 10th step, where you do, a 10-step inventory every night. And I write in a gratitude journal every night. Most of you have heard my practices. And I write in my journal, and I look back at my day, and I say, what did I do skillfully? What could I have done better? Have I offended anyone? What amends do I need to make? But in that, I let go. I journal about it. I decide what I'm going to do if it needs action, and then I let it go. And I don't take it to bed with me. And I don't take it around in my head all day the next day. Of course, I'm not always successful at that. Sometimes it takes many days of journaling to let go. But the idea, right? The idea is to be that leaf, to let go with grace and to trust that as long as your intention is one of love, as long as your intention is one of truth, as long as your intention is one of oneness, then, give yourself some grace. Give yourself that space. The Tao Te Ching says, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I have, I receive what I need. Wow.
Could you say that again?
Yeah. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I have, I receive what I need. And isn't that where we all want to be, right? Isn't that the consciousness of this teaching? Isn't that the consciousness of faith? That is exactly the understanding of everything that Science of Mind talks about. Letting go of everything that separates you, right? All of the ideas and the conditions, everything that makes you think you are separate. And becoming what you might be. I'm like, when you make space for the sun to filter through those leaves, what a beautiful expression of spirit that is, right? With each falling leaf, with each ray of sunshine, it is a beautiful expression of spirit. This too is good. This too is God. This too is for me, and I demand to see the blessing in it. So let's go forth and do that. And so I have a couple of suggestions. How are we doing on time? Am I okay? Okay. So I have a couple of suggestions. How do you do that? How do you let go? Well, you can use my ritual of the side of your hand and the blade. And here's another like kind of like little cheat. This is not exactly as blessing filled, but if you're having a hard time letting go of something, I discovered this works. Put it all in a box. Don't tell yourself you're getting rid of it. Tell yourself you're putting it in a box. Put it in a box, put it in the corner, and guess what? Yeah, then just get rid of the box. And you forget, it's like, all those things you're so attached to. Once they're in a box, once they're stored away, it's a lot easier to just get rid of the box. It's another way of cutting those emotional ties, right? Because instead of seeing each individual thing, it's a box. So that's a little cheap. But what I suggest that you do is make some kind of ritual that works for you. Something that represents the grace of letting go. Whatever it is, whether it's decluttering and letting go of things, whether it's perhaps letting go of a resentment or a frustration by writing a letter. Even if you don't give it to them, maybe write a letter to a person you're frustrated with and burn it, or do whatever works for you. Create a ritual that says to the universe, that says to law, I am willing to let go of this. I am willing to create space for something new. Take a walk out in nature, and with each leaf that falls on your head as you're walking through the trees, say, yes, I am going to let go of something with that ease. I am going to gracefully let go of this and just trust as it falls. Be a leaf, or spend a few minutes in contemplation about it. And here's another little challenge, okay? So anybody here know the Marie Kondo thing about keeping, right? So decluttering, letting go of stuff. Only keeping that which brings you joy. Well, I have a challenge. How about giving away something that brings you joy? How about if you pick up something, like I said, that little teddy bear, if you pick up something that brings you joy, but will bring more joy or as much joy to someone else. Challenge yourself to give away, to bless someone else with something you still love, and see what kind of space that makes in your heart. See what kind of space that makes. Let me tell you, I have done it. And it's like sympathetic joy in Buddhism, where you feel joy for someone else's joy. There is no space that is created that is greater for me than the space when I give something away that I truly love to someone else who truly loves it. So, that's a little challenge. You don't have to do that, but I challenge you to do something. Like I said, choose something that works for you. Even if it's as simple as getting rid of all the extra shopping bags you have. There's consignment stores and thrift stores and places that use them, right? So just choose something, make a demonstration, make a physical act that says to the universe, yes, I am letting go. And then trust that you will be blessed with joy, with gratitude, with all of the good that is open to you to receive. I'm going to end with a poem. I can always read my poem too, but this was the poem that I wanted to end with. It's called She Let Go by Sapphire Rose. Some of you anybody familiar with it? No? Oh, it's one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to read it. She let go. Without a thought or a word, she let go. She let go of fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good, and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forevermore. Thanks, everybody.
Little switch in our typical order of service today. We're going to have a little sing-along with our beloved friend Andrew Dunn. And if you don't have the chorus, "To Let Your Love Flow," I'm going to hand it out to you. You have it?
Good morning, everyone. I apologize for being late. I appreciate your grace on that. I don't have time to do any makeup or anything. Everyone have the chorus now? There's a reason for the sunshine and sky, and there's a reason for why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season, and that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and that goes feeling through the moonlit nights with your love. Just let your love flow like the mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean. It's the season. And let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights. There's a reason for the candlelight. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under. It's loving embrace, just feel the thunder. As it on your face, you can't hold back. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow like
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I stole it off.
No, thank you.
So, be a leaf. What leaf do you want to be? Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you all for coming to this dynamic community. I invite you to visit our website, www.cslprinceton.org, to see all the wonderful things that are happening, and also to share your love with us, share your letting go of your abundance with us, because the reason why we're able to bring such dynamic speakers, such wonderful musicians, is because we have your support, and we cannot do it alone. So be at ease and be the good leaf. Be the leaf that thrives on abundance, and be willing, like Lori reminded us, to share that abundance. And I'm going to read this wealth treatment that appears in Collected Wisdom by Raymond Charles Barker. And it says the following: let us enter into this offering in joy, because we are dealing with the principle of eternal abundance. Let me repeat that. Let us enter into this offering in joy, because we are dealing with the principle of eternal abundance. This universe is never poor. The universe never runs out of leaves for trees. It never runs out of weeds for gardens. The universe is always abundant, always rich, always productive. And let me remind it, each one of you, so are you. Therefore, I, as a part of the eternal system, as a part of the eternal process, of the eternal mechanism, I say, I am that abundance. And I remind you, as you hold your gift, divine love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Happy falling.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Okay. So, let's all just close our eyes and know this truth together. That right here, right now, we are one with the abundant life of Spirit. That we are full of the grace that is inherent in letting go with trust. That we go forth from this service, from this celebration, from this time together in community, enriched, uplifted, supported, and empowered to more gracefully let go and receive our good. I know that this is the truth. I know that this is the way the law works. It is done unto us as we believe. And so right here we affirm our belief in our good. We affirm our belief in our willingness to let go of that which no longer serves, to receive this and something better. Because Spirit knows for us what we cannot even imagine. And so I am grateful to be in that flow, to align myself with that truth, and to know for each one here and for each one listening that same truth, that same grace of letting go and letting the light in. Because we are shining lights of Spirit. And when we let go of the clutter, when we let go of everything that is blocking us, we shine our light more brightly in the world. And so I affirm for each one that we go forth and shine with grace, with blessing, with joy, and with gratitude. And so with deep gratitude for this beautiful teaching that allows us to do that, with deep gratitude for this center, and for everyone here and everyone listening, and this opportunity to know and speak the truth, I say thank you. And I release this word into law lovingly, joyfully, gracefully, and expectantly, because I know it cannot come back to me void.
Yes.
And so I invite you all to join me in saying, and so it is. Amen. Hallelujah.
So allow me to introduce myself. I'm Andrew Dunn. I have played here once before. I'm pleased to be here again. When Lori told me that the idea today was letting go, the theme was letting go, this was the first song I thought of because, like many of you, when I was in school, ADD didn't exist, right? We were just not living up to our potential. And I spent a lifetime of hearing not living up to my potential. And then I got married, and I guess I was not living up to my potential there either for 18 years. And that marriage is over. We're still very good friends, but that idea of making one feel like they're broken was very hard for me to let go of. And this is a song for those of you still here, because I'm more and more in admiration of people's resilience. Resilience is a wonderful word. It's fun to say, but it's also just a wonderful word in that, you know, we can overcome so much. And forgiving others is easy, but forgiving yourself is really hard. But once you do that, boy, it frees you. It really frees you in a way that forgiveness of others does not. And the way I was able to get rid of these things for me was literally imagining all this gravel in my hand and just thinking to myself, these are all the things that I've held on to for so long. And if you just put your hand in the water, even if it's a lake, eventually all that stuff will just sift out on its own. And that way there was no fight, there was no grappling with letting go, it was just letting the water do it. And just slowly letting it go. So that was the image in my head. I wrote this. You say broken, I won't answer anymore. I will not let you in. You're not welcome like before. I am not broken. And you
world is not my fault. It went in my ears for all those years. Now I hear it by default, but I'm letting it go like pebbles through my hair. I should have done it years ago, but I just couldn't understand. Well, I trusted you with fragile things to handle me with care. My shattered bits of confidence, they went with me everywhere. And I've kept it in this dustpan, scared to throw it all away. Uh-oh. I threw it all away. Scared to throw it all away. I don't remember, sorry. Odds I hurt me to admit you really treated me this way, and I'm letting it go, yes, like pebbles through my hands. I should have done it years ago, but I just couldn't understand. Believe your lies. Take this poison out of me. I am proud that I'm still standing right where I am meant to be. Finally reaching my potential, proving all my teachers wrong. Oh no, it happened again. Oh my God. I'm reaching my potential, proving all my teachers wrong. I'm certain I'm not perfect, but I believe that I'm strong. Stronger than you ever thought I'd be. Stronger than they ever thought I'd be. I am stronger than I ever thought I'd be. Say broken, I won't answer anymore. Not the guy I was before.
Yeah, no,